Hello, everyone.
Deep in the grand
RBG Kingdom, get here back with some more
mines,
triangle
lay a most
strategy.
unexpected
In the previous video, we went through the most bullshit of the battles and learned finally what's in the mines.
Now in possession of knowledge that could alter the course of history in Norzelia, the members of House Wolffort gather at Whiteholm Castle to discuss their next move.
If griefs could possess that.
Unexpected though it may be, the salt crystals are now ours. How shall we proceed?
Carefully, for it has the potential to alter the balance of power across Norzelia. This is an opportunity to reshape the realm to our benefit. We must be strategic.
It's a target on our backs is what it is. There'll be no peace for us so long as we hold him.
Hyzante will set upon us with a fury we've never known if they hear of this.
Yeah,
She's
and I'm
right.
all for snuffing them
They will
out.
stop at nothing to defend their faith.
Nor will Aesfrost go quietly into the night.
Then let us prepare for when word does spread, rather than fret over how long we can keep the secret. Whether we protect the salt as ours, or find another way to use it, we must act soon.
What say you, your majesty?
We find ourselves at a crossroads. Not just as a kingdom, but an entire realm. Our decision will touch every life in Norzelia. I too wish to act quickly. But I beg you all for a moment alone with my thoughts.
Your caution is admirable, but ill-advised. Hesitation could cost us everything.
That much is obvious. Yet I cannot race headlong into the unknown when so much depends upon us.
Benedict, I find myself unmoored as well. I wish to hear from all present before we decide upon a course of action.
As you wish. Pray let it be swift.
Serenoa, answer me this. Can I count on you to walk the path with me, whatever it may be?
I was named Lord of House Wolffort long before I was inducted into the Saintly Seven. And I've been your friend even longer still.
Say no more. Take the others to Castle Wolffort and await my word. Likewise, inform me of any movements from Hyzante.
As you wish. Until we meet again.
Okay. We have 2 stories over there, and we have one character story, and we have a thing here. Okay. Ah, Frederica. What's up, girl?
Do you have a moment, Sheila?
Oh, Frederica. Is something the matter?
Well, I invited Serenoa to have dinner with me tonight.
That's wonderful. Are you cooking for him?
I am. I've been practicing with the book you gave
Yeah,
me.
I remember this. I was like,
hoping to
couldn't
finally
remember her
show
thing,
him what
but
I've learned.
Then allow me to help. What are you making?
A warm soup full of meatballs. A hearty, meaty, savory stew to tickle the tongue and sate the stomach. Or so the book describes it.
That sounds like quite a mouthful, in more ways than one.
yes.
The author is rather verbose, yes. Anyhow, I also want to make an appetizer. Might you be able to lend a hand?
Cooking is hardly my specialty, but say no more. I'd love to.
Ah, I like this. I like this.
Oh dear.
This is disappointing, to say the least.
And we're almost out of time. Serenoa will be back any minute now.
Excuse me, Lady Frederica. Lord Serenoa has just sent word that he has been held up at a meeting. He says there is a chance he may not even return tonight.
I see. Thank you for letting me know.
It sounds like your dinner may get postponed.
A blessing in disguise. It gives us time to cook this again and do it right this time.
Lord Serenoa may not even return tonight.
But there is a chance he might. And I refuse to disappoint him. Would you help me, Gila?
Of course, Frederica.
This is adorable.
I shall do my very best to see this through with you.
I cannot thank you enough.
The vegetables are done, though they are a far cry from perfect.
The meatballs are ready too. Now all we have to do is stew them.
Frederica, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
It appears we've run out of time.
Wah.
I was on my way here when something urgent came to my attention. I apologize for returning so late. I know we were supposed to have dinner tonight.
I am just happy you're here. Besides, I am the one who should apologize. I wanted to cook you a meal, but failed terribly on my first attempt, so it isn't yet ready. I'm sorry, Serenoa.
Aw, this is adorable.
Don't look so down, Frederica. I was delighted when you asked me to share a meal. Now that I'm back, why don't I help you with the food?
Serenoa.
Yes, let's all hold our hands out to the pot. Do do do.
Thank you again for inviting me. I'm overjoyed we could spend this time together.
As am I. I enjoyed cooking with you as well.
The time we spend together is very precious to me. I regret that my duties have been keeping us apart lately. But when I noticed the sky was even more beautiful than ever this night,
What the
I
fuck?
hurried home,
Okay, this is nice.
hoping we could gaze upon its beauty together.
This is nice.
Strange. When I was in Aesfrost, I would look up at the same sky. But it felt so much colder there.
Well,
The
because
stars
it's covered
seemed
in
as if
snow, but
frozen.
I digress.
They did not twinkle the way they do now that I am with you, Serenoa.
Frederica, promise me that you will always stay by my side. I need you, now more than ever.
Of course, Serenoa. I wish to gaze up at the same sky, sit beneath the same moon, and walk the same path you do. Together. Forever and always.
Aww. Ooh, they really had to play this one right now with what's gonna happen. Because I know what's gonna happen. So it's the scales. Once we get to the scales, it's gonna be time to like decide between three things. It's either Roland's plan, Benedict's plan, or Frederica's plan. And you pick one of them, you're gonna lose one of them, and you'll end up with two of them. Like if you pick, I think Benedict's plan, you keep Benedict. Obviously, whoever you pick, you get to keep, obviously. And then you pick one, so you get one of the other two. I think with Frederica, you get Benedict. With Benedict, you keep Frederica. With... No, that doesn't make sense. With Frederica, you keep Roland. With Roland, you keep Benedict. With Benedict, you keep Frederica. I believe it's like that. So, yeah. And then you lose the other one, so it's gonna be fun when that happens.
Have you heard the popular rumor, Lord Claris?
That Hyzante intends to raise an army against Glenbrook? Yes, I am familiar.
So it's reached the consortium then. Is it true?
King Roland has only just reclaimed the Crown City with Hyzante's help, not to mention restored relations with them. Ordinarily, such a thing would be unthinkable, but the rumors are so persistent that I think something may be afoot.
For example?
I wouldn't be so restless if I had an example to give.
Aesfrost gathers its troops at Twinsgate. Might they have heard the rumors as well?
Perhaps. A battle for the very soul of Norzelia may loom on the horizon. But therein lies the opportunity for merchants like us. You can't wage war without a surfeit of supplies.
You're quite right about that.
And each shift in Norzelia's power balance opens new business opportunities.
Will the consortium continue trading with Hyzante?
'Tis difficult to say. I believe House Wolffort's actions from here on will be key to the consortium's decision.
House Wolffort, you say?
Indeed.
What would you say?
They've been involved in most every conflict between the three nations on this continent. Why
We've
stop
been
now?
involved in all of them because you're all fucking
I shall
suck.
wait and see how Lord Serenoa responds first, lest I make any hasty decisions.
All right, Twingate. I probably should actually read this stuff that's on the corners of those, but oh well.
I am gladdened to see each and every one of you, my ironclad brothers in arms, here at Twinsgate. I have asked you here to tell you of a most fortuitous discovery. We have found crystals of salt deep in the Grand Norzelian mines. Alas, Glenbrook has taken those very mines from us. What's worse, Glenbrook's esteemed House Wolffort is led by one of the saintly seven of Hyzante. They will no doubt be informed of the salt crystals, and their precious religion will be shaken to its core. I trust you can all imagine how Hyzante will respond to such an affront. They will not go quietly, but will instead seek the crystals for themselves, that their reign of terror may continue unimpeded. Therefore, we must subdue Glenbrook and seize the mines for Aesfrost if we are to counter this grave threat. But we cannot stop there, for that will only draw Hyzante to our gates. They will stop at nothing to conquer all of Norzelia in their name. The Duchy has never been in a more precarious position. But we will not yield. We subscribe to no faith, and we bend the knee for no king. We shall greet our enemies at Twinsgate with cold, hard steel. Our newest weapon, the Death's Knell, is nearly complete. With it, we shall strike back at Hyzante. The false goddess shall crumble beneath the sheer force of our iron will, and Hyzante reduced to rubble along with her. Raise your swords, my black iron heroes. Your names shall be cast in iron when the histories of this day are written. You shall be known as the defenders of Aesfrost. For Aesfrost!
Oh yes. The Death's Knell will reduce many a falsehood to rubble, dear Gustadolf.
Alrighty, that's another one. Alright, where are the salt crystals within the Grand Norzelia Mines reach Hierophant's Palace? Yes. Because of bullshit. I fucking hate this. Out of all of them, I hate Hyzante the most. Because they're bullshit.
Milo has sent a dispatch from Glenbrook. Deep within the Grand Norzelian mines lies... It would seem salt crystals were found within.
Impossible!
The discovery of salt outside the source explains Gustadolf's recent provocations.
How can you be so calm? The teachings tell us that salt is a blessing, bestowed only upon the goddess's followers. The discovery of these salt
Because we know this is
an
bullshit.
existential threat to Hyzante.
Salt crystals are salt too. We need only keep word of this discovery from spreading.
Of course. But how?
The Hierophant has spoken. Minister Exham, you shall raise an army and seize the Grand Norzelian mines in Hyzante's name.
The Hierophant asks us to invade Glenbrook?
Do you have another way to silence King Roland and his royal hounds in House Wolffort?
Minister Serenoa is one of us, and thus is honor-bound to heed the Hierophant's word.
Ah, no,
But
fuck
we
you.
know not if he will do so, or if he will cast his lot with his precious king. You shall ask him yourself when you surround Castle Wolffort en route to the mine.
And if he resists?
You are free to deal with him, as we do with all who forsake the goddess.
Oh, yeah, totally. That totally makes me want to side with the fucking Nazis. They literally are. Hyzante is fucking Nazi Germany.
Minister Exham
Even worse.
7 wastes no time in
As far as I know, well, no.
which now marches on the Grand Norzelian mines. Elsewhere, Gustadolf amasses his own forces at Twins Gate in anticipation of the war to come. All eyes are on Glenbrook, where Roland and Serenoa's pronouncement could touch off a battle for the soul of Norzelia. After much deliberation, Roland makes his way to Castle Wolffort to inform Serenoa of the decision that now weighs heavy on his heart.
Roland visits Wolffort to tell Serenoa of his decision. Here we go. Here's the bullshit.
I appreciate you coming all this way, Roland.
I was the one who asked for your time, so it is only natural I make the journey. I wish to tell you that I finally made up my mind.
And I would hear your decision if you were willing to share it with me.
I've long pondered over the one thing that Norzelia needs most. I thought back on the Saltiron War. 30 years have passed, yet the root of our conflict remains the same. Each nation still thinks only of itself, wishing to fill its coffers even at the expense of others. But who bears the brunt of such a war?
The people.
Exactly so. The avarice of the ruler is an existential threat to their loyal subjects.
And yet without that wealth, the people suffer just as much. They languish in poverty.
This much is obvious. But there can be no winner without a loser. Remove one, and you necessarily remove the other. If we achieve equality, we achieve peace.
And how do you propose we achieve? No. No, surely you don't mean...
Yes. The goddess's teachings. All can live as equals under the goddess. An authority greater than any king. The model nation was in front of us all along, Serenoa. The holy state of Hyzante.
Nope.
I have decided
Fuck
that
you.
we must give the salt crystals in the Grand Norzelian mines to Hyzante.
And in so doing, you'll give them control of all Norzelia.
Exactly. There will be no more squabbling over salt. Norzelia will know eternal peace at last.
Unequal peace, surely. One built on the backs of a people like the Roselle, if not the Roselle themselves.
I am not blind to that fact. But so few will suffer for the good of so many. Nothing in this world is perfect, Serenoa. The sacrifice of the few for the good of the many. It's the only clear answer, and one I would give every time I were asked.
No,
Submitting
fuck
to
you.
the goddess will rob you of your kingship.
So be it. My crown, my pride. They're but small prices to pay for peace.
You are truly prepared to throw it all away.
Join me, Serenoa.
Oh boy.
Let us unite Norzelia under the holy state.
Roland, this is quite sudden.
I understand. Pray, take all the time you need. I expect Frederica will want nothing to do with this plan, seeing as it forsakes her people. I am already mourning the rift this may cause between you. But I shall not be swayed. This will be my final act as Glenbrook's king.
All right. So Roland gave us his stupid plan.
King Roland's anguish plays plainly across his face. It pains me to see him so tortured.
I'm not surprised. The future of our kingdom, to say nothing of the entire continent, rests upon his shoulders.
Pray tell, what do you intend to do about the salt crystals?
In truth, I cannot decide. Salt is too precious to be hoarded. We've a duty to share it with the people, which is...
Where the difficulty lies, yes. The source makes that all too clear. Salt lies at the heart of every war in Norzelia.
Mm-hmm.
Would that the boundless salted sea of Rosellan legend still existed. We'd have no need of conflict if there were a source of salt for all.
My love, if I may, the discovery of the salt crystals has made two things plain to me. The first is that my mother spoke true in the legend she passed on to me.
And the other is that the goddess's teachings are nothing more than a lie built to constrain your people.
Yep.
Just so. We are guilty of nothing.
Yep.
Yet the Roselle languish in the source, where they are looked down upon and forced to work until they die. Entire generations lost, countless lives given to Hyzante's cruelty. Cruelty created to justify Hyzante's own avarice and lust for power.
Such is the ugly lie at the heart of their teachings.
One revealed by a crystal of the mineral they hold so dear.
Mm-hmm.
The time has come,
Fuck Hyzante.
The Roselle must be freed. The salt crystals have brought us to the brink of war. We can harness this unrest, incite the Roselle to rise up and rebel against their captors.
I am with you. Believe me, I am. But you make it sound so...
Simple. Yes, I know. But the suffering of my people is so distant for everyone else. We can no longer wait for someone to do the right thing. Help isn't coming. Why else would my own mother incite rebellion? We are alone.
I swear to you, none of this feels distant to me. The Roselle live in my domain. I am betrothed to you, my dear. It couldn't feel any closer.
And I thank the stars that I have you by my side. I do. In truth, that's why I think this time will be different. Why I'll be able to accomplish what my mother could not.
I agree. But the risk is immense. Suppose we succeed, what then? Hyzante will not let us go quietly.
We kill them.
Of course not.
Fuck them.
time comes, you can lead the Roselle to Centralia, just as your mother wrote about in the book she left behind. Beyond the Great Falls and the Falk's domain at the end of the Norzelia River, the ancestral home of the Roselle.
But that's just a legend.
We've already found one legend to be rooted in truth. Perhaps this one is as well. And if not, at least you'll be safe from harm.
I doubt Benedict will share our feelings, though. Abandoning all we've built to embark on a journey fraught with danger in search of a legend. Yet no matter how perilous the path ahead, I would happily walk it at your side.
Okay, yeah, they're basically saying that the person who would not join us is the one that they say right there. Like Roland said, Frederica wouldn't join us. Wouldn't like it. Frederica just said Benedict wouldn't like it, so
crystals will have on
now he'll probably say that
history.
Roland's not gonna like the plan that he has.
Whatever course of action we choose will determine whether House Wolffort leaves a legacy in that history, or is expunged from it.
How would you proceed, Benedict?
I would do all I could to keep it from falling into Hyzante's hands. They already control the source. With the crystals in hand, they will solidify their grip on the realm and in time dominate it. The siren song of a false equality under their goddess shall blanket the land, claiming every domain and its people.
Even though they count me among the Saintly Seven?
Even then, for that matters little when the equality they espouse is dictated by the goddess, or should I say, the Hierophant. In the end, they will have the same life and death control over all Norzelia that they now hold over the Roselle.
And our wounds from the battle with Aesfrost have only begun to heal. Hyzante will destroy us if we wage war against them in our current state.
But they stand little chance against us if we ally with Aesfrost.
Ally with Aesfrost? Are you of sound mind, Benedict?
Quite. Think about it for a moment. Aesfrost wants nothing more than to loosen Hyzante's grip. They will go to war if it means control of the salt crystals.
Our interests are broadly aligned, yes, but...
Aesfrost has been building toward precisely that purpose for some time now.
You speak of the Death Knell, the weapon that Cordelia mentioned.
Precisely. A weapon capable of reducing the goddess's shield to rubble, leaving Hyzante's capital ripe for the taking. Without that weapon, we cannot win. You need only say the word, and I shall convince Aesfrost to join our side.
I appreciate your candor, Benedict, and I do not doubt you could secure Aesfrost's cooperation. But I fear the harder fight is within our own domain. King Roland's heart will not be easily won.
I bid you listen closely and calmly to what I'm about to ask.
From whence this somber tone?
Do you believe King Roland is fit to rule?
What are you implying?
Decorum is of little use when the fate of our realm is at stake, Lord Serenoa. Are you content to spend the rest of your life in servitude to another?
Not another word, Benedict. Roland is more than my king. He is my friend.
And you are Lord of House Wolffort, whose military prowess is known to all Norzelia. Not the guard dog of Glenbrook and Hyzante. What else are you here to do, if not to protect your house and keep its banner aloft? But you have the potential for so much more. All Norzelia could be yours if you but desired it.
Treason, if not outright regicide. These are your suggestions.
Of course not. The blood in your veins and the royal family's ring are claim enough to the throne. There is no need for violence.
I told you not to speak of that again.
But you did not tell me to forget, The time to reckon with your lineage draws near. You must make a...
I've heard enough. Leave me.
Just know that I will do anything you ask of me, Lord Serenoa.
No, you won't.
I pray that
fucking
you
liar.
make the right choice. Not only for House Wolffort, but for yourself.
I'll do anything, except if you decide to side with Frederica, then no, fuck you. Fucking ass. Here we are. The scales. I'm gonna make a quick save just in case I can't go into the encampment after this. That's not the save button. Marvels of Norzelia, Bangles Nature Records 2 and 3, The History of Aesfrost, Rosalian Uprising, Stanley 7, fuck them, Norzelia River Ships, Winds of Norzelia, The People of Norzelia, Children's Scribbles. In the state of the Grand Nozelian Mines. And these are all the information that we need for the stuff. If I still choose to. Okay, so here's like my mindset right now. There are chapters left. Like what decision we make here is going to be what we decide on. This is probably what I'm going to end up doing. Maybe. Depends on how long it takes me to get to like the end of one. I may decide if I will or will not check out the other two options before I go do the true ending. I do for sure want to at least do the true ending. And of course we'll see one of the other endings here, but we don't have the true endings. This is probably what I will end up doing if I decide to do all of them. If it doesn't take too long, say like so I'm going to end the part off here before we make our choice or like right after we make our choice. But I'm going to keep a save, you know, like this is the save that's like, you know, I should actually maybe do that as well. Save in a different spot as well. Just to make sure that I can't go, just in case I can't go back into the encampment. Like this is my mindset. Like this is my plan. Because I think there's like a total like 17. I think there's a total of like 3 more chapters after this. If they're all just like a fight and a cutscene. Because I don't think there's any more scales after this. If they're just fights and a cutscene, then that's fine. And if it's only those 3, it's totally fine. If it does not take long to do all those, depending on like if it doesn't say like so we make our decision here, and I'll end the part when the chapter's over. And then say like the next part's like one chapter, and that is the next chapter, and that is the next and last chapter. If it's just those 3 parts, I'll probably do the other 2 options then. And then whatever file I did first, like the first ending I got, that's the one I will do the New Game Plus story on. And then what I'll do is I'll just show off all the stuff needed to do to get to the true ending route. I probably won't show that fight again where you know where it's like the scale is protect Roland or keep Roland. Either give up Roland or keep Roland. I probably won't show that fight again. All I know is you just can't use any of the mechanical stuff for that. So I'll probably keep that. Like, I probably won't show that one, but then I'll show like what the next thing is, which if you remember correctly, I mentioned this before because I was so curious, like, oh, that's the wrong one. The next, so like this is our, as far as I know, this is, I don't know what happens afterwards. So like here is, all right, you keep, I believe you have to keep rolling and not use any of those things. It's like, okay. And then the next choice is down here where it's like, you either follow Sorceless's plans or not. That one you actually do have to follow Sorceless's plans. So I'll probably show everything from when I do the scales of, oh, we convinced everyone to go along with Sorceless's plan. So I'll probably show everything of that. And then I'll guys see what next is afterwards and such. But yeah, so yeah. I don't know if it's during that cutscene that we just saw, but there was like, if you do everything correctly, you'll have a moment with Serenoa where he's by himself and he's like, there has to be another way type thing. And that's the way to the true ending. So that's what I'm planning to do if it doesn't take too long to get to an ending. And I'm just going to have it at a lower difficulty because fuck it. I'll have it either on easy or very easy because who cares at that point. I'm just showing you guys the story and such. And plus, if these last, like, the last fight, the fight before that, and the fight before that, the last 3 fights are any indication, fuck them. And we still have some fights next as well. So I might even lower it during this. But I will for sure lower it during the other endings. For sure, the other endings I'm going to lower the difficulty for. Just give me a heads up. Oh, hold on. No. Once again, House Wolffort stands before 3 diverging paths. This time has come to lay their convictions bare before the scales and make their greatest decision yet. Story is approaching a turning point. It is recommended that you save your current progress. Yeah, I mean, I already technically did do that, but I'll do it again. Here we go.
You are certain Hyzante's army marches for the Grand Norzelian mines?
There is no doubt.
They've heard word of the crystals.
It was only a matter of time. We knew this.
Aesfrost's army gathers at Twins Gate as well.
War's breaking out over this thing, and we've got to be ready.
How will Glenbrook respond, King Roland?
There's no need to prepare for war. I have decided that we will surrender the salt crystals to the holy state of Hyzante.
What?
Furthermore, I hereby declare that the kingdom of Glenbrook and its people shall submit to the goddess and her teachings. There is no way to bring happiness to all Norzelia with the salt crystals. Which is why I have chosen a path that will allow the greatest number of people to live in equality and harmony.
How could you? Do you not see that Hyzante's dominion over Norzelia's salt is why we are in conflict already? Is the suffering of the Roselle not proof enough that the goddess's vaunted equality is a lie?
She speaks the truth, my king. Handing over the salt crystals is tantamount to giving Hyzante's goddess free reign of Norzelia. Will you so readily surrender the realm to the Hierophant?
I acknowledge the abdication of my kingdom and kingship alike. A small price to pay in my eyes, in exchange for the security and prosperity of the many.
And the sacrifice of the Roselle, is that a small price to you?
It is.
How could you say such a thing to my face?
I, for one, oppose. I would prefer to ally with Aesfrost and strike back at Hyzante. The salt deposits within the mines give us the leverage we need to convince Gustadolf to join us.
Ally with Aesfrost?
Yeah.
You dare suggest we ally with the man who murdered my father?
Your father was a piece of trash.
I see no reason why we should not. You proposed abdicating the throne for the sake of the kingdom and its people. So you should have no trouble putting aside your own feelings and judging this matter dispassionately.
Ho ho ho, fuck you,
I
Roland.
cannot believe my own ears. I will not have you lecture me on feelings when it is not your father he murdered.
None of you can see beyond your own grievances. It's no wonder my people have suffered for generations. We're told to believe in the goddess, while our own lives are thrown away to make a few more grains of your precious salt. And now, even with proof that the goddess is a lie, you would watch us dig our own graves for your comfort.
Lady Frederica, please. We shall speak of the Roselle in due time.
No!
No.
Fuck you!
Your due time is never, and I will not have you cast us aside for another 3 decades or more. All else is in disarray. If Hyzante seizes the salt crystals, we forfeit the best opportunity in decades to free my people. We know the truth. We must act upon it. We must be a light in the darkness.
We cannot afford to dilute our forces when the enemy marches on us as we speak.
So we are a distraction to you?
I am merely being rational. Liberating the Roselle would be extremely dangerous. We cannot take such a risk. Suppose we succeed. How do you propose we fend off the fury Hyzante will rain down upon us?
Aesfrost would pounce on us, sensing weakness at the undue burden we've taken upon ourselves.
Precisely. We would be without allies and ripe for the taking.
There is another way.
And what, pray tell, would that be?
We set out alongside the Roselle in search of Centralia.
Centralia is a myth.
The legends of my people are true.
I care not one whit if they are. I will hear no talk of forsaking the Wolffort domain.
Silence!
Silence! Y'all fucking can suck a dick, except for you, Frederica.
Do you all hold the courage of your own convictions?
I do.
Nothing I've heard here has swayed me.
I feel the same.
Very well. But know that a choice must be made. There can only be one way forward. Face the scales of conviction and prepare to make peace with the outcome.
You should not be playing this music during this decision. The vote we take today may well open a rift between us. Nevertheless, it must proceed, and I am prepared to accept its outcome. Lord Serenoa, I cannot help but feel that our greatest battle lies ahead, regardless of which path you choose. I know that this may not be the best time to say so, but my wife gave birth to our first child not a few days ago. You are a father before a soldier. It is your duty to protect your house before that of Wolffort. I will not force you to march with us. I ask only that you act according to your own convictions. We must pull together if we are to emerge victorious. I ask that you see us through this final battle. No! Fuck you! No! I'm picking one of these two. I will not force you to march. Middle one. Might I have time to think about it, my lord? But of course, the path before me diverges as well, and I must also take time to think before making a decision. Let us both choose a path that leaves us with no regrets. Thank you, Lord Serenoa. It is an honor to call you my lord. Can't leave. To think King Roland, Lady Frederica, and Sir Benedict's convictions would diverge so greatly after all this time. Just between you and me, Lord Serenoa, what do you make of their plans? I believe that Benedict plans to use Aesfrost's ideals of freedom to ascend to the top of Norzelia. I think Roland intends to put his personal feelings aside to bring peace and equality to everyone. Frederica's wish is a human one. She describes... Yeah, I'm picking this one. But in reality, humans usually only act in their own best interest, even if it means turning a blind eye to the suffering of others. Lady Frederica is a strong woman to stand up for what is right. I couldn't agree more. Ignoring their plight now would be shameful, especially knowing what we do of their innocence. Everyone's choices are deeply rooted in their convictions. It makes me wonder if they'll be able to abide by the Scale's decisions. Lord Serenoa, it will fall to you to lead everyone down the right path. Of course, I wish for all of us to walk astride the same path as we always have. Alright, I can go to my encampment, right? I can. So, though I don't know if I want to do this, if I want to do my grinding at this sign or at the point of before we decide to pick the scales. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll keep both of those slots open anyway, so. Alrighty. As I mentioned before, we have 3 paths before us. Each will decide an ending, all different. We pick one person, we'll lose one person. We pick Roland, we will obviously lose Frederica. We pick Frederica, we will obviously lose Benedict. We pick Benedict, we will obviously lose Roland. Just as you can somewhat tell when we were talking in that cutscene before this one, and then the cutscene like right before we got to this scene, you know, where it's like, where Roland's like, oh, I want to give it the Hyzante, and Frederica's like, are you fucking mad? And then Benedict is like, oh, we gotta side with Aesfrost, and he's like, are you fucking mad? And then Frederica, granted, the way Frederica was talking, both of them were like, you're stupid, but at the same time, I think out of all of them, Roland would be somewhat okay with it. I mean, it makes sense. It really sucked because, like, you should pick Frederica and you get no one, but if you pick Benedict, you get one over the other. Because, like, here's the thing. Obviously, we picked this one. Frederica's not going to join us, but Benedict will be like, fine, that's fine, whatever, as long as House Wolffort stands or whatever. Pick Benedict, he'll be like, no, fuck you, because I'm not siding with Aesfrost. They killed my father. Prepare to die, you know. And Frederica's like, well, I guess at some point we will free the Roselle, so it's a means to the end and such. With her, I honestly don't, like, obviously with him, he's like, no, that's, like, with Benedict, he's like, that's the stupidest plan ever, but I don't know why Roland would say yes. And we can't convince them otherwise.
Serenoa.
Only we can free the Roselle and expose the lie that's kept them in bondage these many years. However, we must move quickly while their gaze is fixed upon the salt crystals. I believe we can succeed. I hear your plea, yet I cannot help but wonder if you wish to act with too much haste.
But
I know not what I can do to prove to you that I have thought this through. I swear to you, this is not fit of pique. Benedict's stratagem may also provide the chance to strike at Hyzante. Will that not be enough? It also prolongs this war, and thus the immense suffering of my people. Even if we do prevail, you know as well as I that my brother is not not a merciful man. He'll not spare so much as a thought for the weak. That much is true. The Roselle's plight would then be buried once more amid negotiations between the nations. Do you see? This time is now, and only we have the power to save them. Power we forfeit if we assist to Roland's plan.
I have decided.
His is the one vision of our future that I cannot abide. Perhaps my concerns seem narrow with all Norzelia at stake, but I know you can save my brothers and sisters. I beg you consider it. Frederica is well steadfast. Your words have no power here.
Serenoa.
We must give Hyzante the salt crystals, cow Aesfrost, and unite all Norzelia in the name of the goddess, else we will never know peace. The Roselle will continue to suffer, 'tis true, but this will end war as we know it, and countless more will live in peace as equals.
I have made my decision.
I will see this done not just for the people of Glenbrook, but for all Norzelia. Roland, you are the king. Surely cooperation with the Hyzante need not mean to forfeit the kingdom.
I think not.
That is where you are wrong, my friend. My time at the throne has shown me that the people need a force more powerful than any king to show them the way. There are many paths that lead us out of war, Roland. Cooperating with Aesfrost, for instance. End the war by allying with the very Archduke who set this in motion? No, cooperating with that tyrant ends nothing. His avarice has brought only pain and suffering to this land.
Moreover,
If anyone understood the tortuous paths I've taken to arrive at this decision, I thought it would be you, Serenoa. Okay, he's obviously, you can obviously tell that if you pick him, he will not join us. Same with Frederica.
My lord.
We share a common goal with the Aesfrost at the moment. It is incumbent upon us to seize the opportunity and rid Norzelia of Hyzante for good. Indeed, the Soul Crystal makes an alliance with Aesfrost possible, but Roland would never assist to it. He feels the weight of the crown, underestimates his own abilities, and has allowed his hatred for Gustave to cloud his judgment. I sympathize, but those matters should have no bearing on the welfare of our house. Perhaps you are right, but then of Frederica's vision, do you concede that her plans concern our houses?
Quite impossible.
I concede nothing, for her strategy is out of the question. She asks us to forfeit all we have fought to build in this... I can't say that word. Denizen. How could I reasonably entertain such a proposition? You'll brook no argument otherwise. None.
We must decide.
May I remind you that you are Lord of House Wolffort. You do it to your people above all else.
I believe I've reached
this moment requires a dispassionate mind. I pray you have one. All right, let's start it. Eve passed before us demands a great sacrifice in exchange for a great reward. I'm sure Cream, Roland, Benedict, and Frederica have agonized over the proposals.
Well,
so now must we agonize over our own decisions. Okay, so it'll be a little easier to go with Frederica or Roland. It'll take a little effort for Benedict, but we're going with Frederica. I must say I'm surprised by your support for Frederica's vision. I've been by her side for years, but even I must admit it is rather hopeful, if I'm being charitable. Perhaps you seem something I do not. Norzelia will be forever plagued by war. I should leave this place and create a new nation that knows only peace. My father has defended Norzelia all these years, and I intend to carry on his legacy. Truth, I agree with you. Your plans in part, and it'll... No, I'm not taking that top one. You mean to forsake not only your denizen, but all Norzelia?
I don't know.
I can see that Hyzante will not admit defeat should we manage to free Roselle. Do you truly believe that searching for Saltiron and starting anew will prove any easier? I do, though I acknowledge that it is far easier said than done.
Uh-huh.
I should say so. Sounds like a daydream if I may speak so plainly.
I don't know.
Yet the words is vast and full of wonders. I cannot in good faith argue that Saltiron does not exist. Perhaps forging ahead is the only answer. May it lead us to the future you dream of, if this is what you desire. Nothing else as Frederica's attendant. I must say that warms my heart to see you support her so diligently. You must truly love her. So this is where it gets hard. It all depends on like how you've done well with them in battles, upgrade their shit, taken them in battles, and such. That'll make it either easier or harder to convince them.
However,
here we stand after a bitter fight to reclaim the crown city, only for the king to speak of forsaking it. As his subject, as his duties to follow his decree, and yet... My lord, the choice before us feels immense. I am utterly adrift. Pray tell me how you see the proposal from Queen Roland and the others. I need your guidance. Okay, it'd be harder for her with Benedict as well, and I could definitely see that one too, because it's like, you know, it's like he killed the king, so... You've taken Frederica's side in all this? What fascination do the Roselle hold for you, my lord? Frederica has shown me a future in which no one is beheld to assault or in need of any nation. It's no better time to free Roselle than now, while Aesfrost and Hyzante squabble over the salt crystal. So if the choice is to ally with the duchy, whose prides might overall else, or submit to the holy state, who pride upon the weak...
But...
You mean to suggest we simply do neither? Precisely. She has shown me the Rosellian legends are true. That means there is hope for all of us, and hope I would bet my life upon. So long as we sit between two nations, with no compassion for the weak, I fear we will never know peace.
Furthermore,
I take your point. War will spread and perhaps only end when the death scale and Alfric are unleashed upon the continent. So you see why I would choose to flee with the weak rather than be party to the atrocities of the powerful. It will be a fight amid a hall of arrows and steel, but so righteous and noble that I would be proud to give my life for it. You've stated your case well, my lord.
Aye, lad.
Our sweat and bloods fed this land, building a proper denizen. I see no reason why we should surrender it all to Hyzante. And Lady Frederica, while I sympathize, asked that we risk everything for the sake of the Roselle.
Here's what I think.
Benedict's got the right of it, I reckon, but even that doesn't quit the nagging feeling I get every time I think about our options. Alright, he seems to be easily swayed no matter what, so that's fine. How could you possibly support Lady Frederica's vision? Have you gone mad? The war will never end as long as we hold the salt crystals. Let's relinquish them and break the cycle of violence. We should carry on, nay, surpass my father's legacy, protecting the Roselle. Assault is the source of the law of the trouble, yes, but there's precious little we can do about it.
Consider this.
Anyone in Norzelia will tell you the same. I'm well aware of our situation, Herodor, but I tire of fighting. We cannot go on like this. I beg you, join me in finding another way forward.
And further.
You have precious little idea how much I sympathize. I want to help you, but Lady Frederica's vision is... It's fantasy, my lord, and a foolhardy one at that. You can beg till you're blue in the face, but I doubt you'll win much support. So we probably don't have his, but we probably have at least the two girls down there, so... I'm going to guess he's going to support Benedict, and she's probably going to end up supporting Benedict if I don't sway her. That'll end in a tie. Then what?
Lord Serenoa.
Benedict would march us to war. Frederica would see Hyzante hunt us for all eternity. Perhaps her vision is not so different. So it's come to this. Ally with a one-time opponent, or flee with the Roselle.
However...
Bold proposal all. Our tax must be flawless. And she's a little difficult for this one. So you assess to Frederica's vision of the future. War is coming, a war for all Norzelia, and we forfeit your role in it. There's no better time to free the Roselle than now, while Aesfrost and Hyzante squabble over the Salt Crystal. This is how we end the war. Hyzante will crumble once we free the Roselle. The Ascarl Alfric are unleashed on the battlefield. The casualties will eclipse any war that's come before. Let's go with this one.
No.
Simply cannot agree. It will throw Hyzante into chaos, but only briefly. They will stop at nothing to restore order and maintain the authority of their beloved goddess. You forget there are those who question her authority already. Do you not think they would seize the opportunity and revolt?
But?
Possibly. But that is a sight, hope in the face of an enemy so powerful as Hyzante. They stifled a rebellion 30 years ago. Now they move to take the salt crystals and the mines in which they were found for themselves. If I may speak plainly, my lord, your strategy is too fanciful. I urge you to ground it in reality if you wish to collapse the holy state. Alrighty, I have no idea how this is going to go. Let's see what happens.
It is time to cast...
I agree wholeheartedly.
I've made up my mind. I stand with you, Lord Serenoa. Okay, so we got her vote.
My apologies.
I've decided to stand my ground, which we have no idea what it is.
I have faith in you.
I've decided that this is what's best for both King Roland and us all.
Forgive me, lad.
I'm sorry, lad, but my gut tells me this is the right path. Ah! Alright, it's a tie, now what?
Equal votes for all sides. As such, the Lord of the House will render the final decision.
Oh, okay. Frederica's vision. Fuck you.
The way forward is decided. Frederica's dream is worth realizing. We will free the Roselle from the source.
Well, that's what happens when you get a tie. Okay. If griefs could passions move. Ooh. Alrighty. Well, guys, that's going to end the part off here. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Guys, if you like the video, please give the like button a click and comment down below. Like about the video, didn't like about the video. Let me know, guys, what was your first decision in this choice? If you guys played this game and gotten this far. What was your conviction of which one did you pick? So let me know. And as always, guys, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a beat, and subscribe to the main channel too. That's in the description below. As well as follow me on Twitter. Both of my main Twitter, RBG Kim Kid Twitter are in there too. Thank you all so much for watching once again, and I will see you all next time.